The first question I get from most new course creators is, what should I create my course on? That's usually where they get stumped first. So I figured I'd walk you through my answer on my morning walk here through Montreal. So first I tell people, you want to think about not just your expertise, but you also want to think about your energy. And what I mean by that is, a lot of the people I work with have a rough idea of what they want to teach, whether it's something within project management, user experience design, you name it. It could be anything, soft skills related of how to give feedback. I've seen it all, including like yoga, everything. But you want to think beyond that to, what really fires you up in terms of something you're so passionate about that you can't not teach it. You're constantly someone, even if you're not teaching a course, you're already teaching it to some extent, in the sense of you bring it up in conversations. If you see posts on social media, you feel fired up to respond, share your thoughts, share resources that you found valuable. So something that really just kind of lights you up, because a mentor of mine who's run many businesses, I remember him telling me when I was talking about eventually one day dreaming of starting my own company, he was saying you just want to make sure that it's something that you're really passionate about, because he said running a business is so hard that as long as you're doing something that you truly love, you're always going to have that much more motivation to keep going when things are tough, and also just to outperform others in your field, because it's something that is just part of who you are and your mission in life, that it just comes naturally to you and feels a lot more like play than work, even though of course you're doing a lot of work in the process. So I think about courses in the same way of, you're ultimately building a business, and that's something I don't think enough people think about. A lot of people think of, okay, yeah, you're running like this experience, which is true, but it's also, there's a business side of it that has to make sense as well. So you really want to think about what's going to motivate you long term. And something I find helpful in doing that is, I tell people, like, imagine you're lying on the couch one night, you're dozing off, just kind of aimlessly scrolling through social media, as we all do. And then all of a sudden you see a post that just makes you bolt upright, because you're like, okay, I have to type out a response to this and share my thoughts, share some advice, send a link to something I've written about this, or a video I've recorded on this. So typically those are the signs of, okay, well, if I get really fired up about this, then that's a hint that you're onto something that might be something you want to teach more in depth. And I also say, think about, even in conversations, whether you meet someone for the first time, or someone loops you into a conversation of someone who needs help with something you're good at, and you just notice yourself just rambling to the point where you start apologizing and saying, sorry, I'm really passionate about this, or you offer to tell them, you say, we're running out of time, but let's connect afterwards, I have a bunch of resources I can send you. Those are the things that are probably a good signal of what you'd be great at running a course on, because ultimately all of us are multifaceted people. So many of us, or most of us I should say, have many courses in us. We could teach a lot of things, whether it's professionally related, personal, you name it. So you really want to think of, in terms of starting your course business, you can potentially have multiple courses in the future, but you want to start with one that you're really going to give your all and really work at scaling, because trust me, it's an effort to scale, especially when you have a small audience. It's worth it, but you want to start small. And so you want to start with what makes the most sense. And often I tell people, even if they're more qualified to teach one subject of, 2 ideas they have in mind, if they're more fired up about, the other one, then I tell them, usually trust your gut and go with that, because ultimately that's what's going to keep you motivated and keep you pushing forward to make this the best course you can, and ultimately the best business you can. So really just kind of tap into your energy, listen to your gut. And if you have more questions about defining your course concept, I have a number of exercises I run in my course community. So feel free to reach out or check out some of my free content. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll be sharing a lot more about this in weekly videos coming forward. Thanks. Bye.